the self-storage business. Where'd that idea even come from?
Yep. So I was in a really hard business. My partner and I were looking down saying, damn, we are literally paying college kids minimum wage to drive box trucks around cities. We're moving stuff. We're dropping stuff. It's getting broken. Warehouses are flooding. People are ripping tops off trucks on Sturo Drive in Boston. Like, it was crazy. We're like, there's got to be an easier way. So we analyzed our competition, looked out there and said, hey, where do we see some not really spectacular people making phenomenal money? Frankly, where are the dumb people getting rich? And it didn't take long for us to stumble on self-storage. We had storage in our name, even though we had nothing to do with real estate. We had never leased a storage unit, but we thought just because we had Storage Squad in our name, we might be able to convince some bankers and investors to give us some money to go do that first deal.
Yeah, that's wild. Do you still do self-storage then, right? You got quite a portfolio.
63 properties. We have about 50 people managing it. We've raised, I think we're 45, 50 million we've raised. We've bought about 120 million of self-storage.
Wild.
Most of it in 2021, which was a good time to buy. Refinancing all those loans in the last year has been a little stressful, but
it's been a little stressful. Yeah, a little bit. All right, man. So let's talk about building that. What does that look like? Why? Let me even go back more basic. What's the appeal to self-storage? Why should people consider that? Should they still consider it? Maybe we
saw a bunch of operators in 2015, 14 who didn't answer the phone on the weekends. They were sitting in an office at their storage property. Their units were full. Their units were underpriced. And we generally thought, hey, this isn't rocket science. We can run a moving operation while we are in Boston. We can run that in Philadelphia. We can sure as hell run a self-storage facility with 200 doors where people, visit their unit once a quarter on average. So then we started running the numbers. We started looking into the business, and the smart thing to do back in 2015 would have been to buy some existing properties because they were still very affordable. Damn, I wish I would have started buying self-storage properties in 2015. But we are crazy and full of energy and had that confidence. And we decided to go build one from the ground up. We got a property under contract for $250,000. We raised $500,000, put in about $200K of our own cash, borrowed $2.2 million from the bank, and built a storage facility for $2.9 million all in. It was a really stressful construction project. I had to go back and ask everybody for more money, but we got the doors open and started leasing units, and we realized, holy cow, this is a spectacular business. This is really cool.
I'm curious, how does the guy without a lot of experience at a young age go and raise $500,000? What was that process like?
Yeah, I built a cash flow model. I built a marketing plan. I had a piece of land that I acted like I had under contract in a city. I'm not really that proud of this, but I sent it to Public Storage and Life Storage and Extra Space Storage and had them give me pro formas on it so that I could see how they think about storage. I took meetings as if I was a big time real estate developer and we're thinking about hiring them to manage our property.
So dude, that's brilliant.
The scrappy way, I guess.
That is. So you acted like you had a piece of land under contract and then got the pro formas from these bigger companies of hey, what would it look like if you guys came and built on this?
And frankly, we were looking at the land. It wasn't a full, charade, but we had, hey, we want to build this property outside of Nashville. We're looking at this piece of land. Extra Space management team, pitch us on, doing that. And they're like, oh, we won't even pitch. We'll pitch you on building it for you. Here's how we would budget it. Here's how, we would do lease up. Here's how much marketing we would spend. Here's how our cash flow models look. I didn't know how to discount, street rates to, unit occupancy to economic occupancy, but I learned real fast looking at those models.